As human beings, making decisions is a big part of our lives. There are times in life when we regret the decisions we've made and how we acted at a specific time. Many celebrities, being human, have also made really questionable decisions which have brought severe consequences to their lives later on. We've seen many celebrities who jumped into marriage thinking that they have found their soulmate, only to regret the decision later on. In this video, we're going to talk about the top 10 celebrities who immediately regretted their marriages. But before we get started, hey there, thank you for clicking on this video. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel and watch this video all the way so you get to know all about these celebrities' failed marriages. Okay, back to the video. Number 10, Pamela Anderson. Pamela has opened up about her marriage to Kid Rock more than he has. Their marriage was widely known because it happened suddenly on a huge yacht in Saint-Tropez back in 2006. Their engagement was called off in 2003, and then 3 years later, they got married on a yacht in July. The yacht party was a huge success, but we can't say the same for their marriage. The marriage was very short-lived because Pamela filed for a divorce in November of 2006, the same year they got married. The divorce was finalized in 2007. Back in 2018, she spoke very candidly about her past marriage in an interview with a Hollywood reporter. Pamela admitted that she never spoke to him again after they split. It was a kind of out of sight, out of mind thing for her once they went their separate ways. Although she admits that the wedding should never have happened, she doesn't slam her ex-husband personally for anything. Rumors have stipulated that the Borat movie was the cause of their divorce because Pamela had a cameo in it and Kid Rock was mad. However, those rumors were shut down quickly by those two. Number 9, Renee Zellweger. Renee and Kenny Chesney first met in January of 2005 at NBC's concert of Hope Tsunami Telethon. Reports say that Renee told Jay that there weren't any sparks between the two of them that night, but they still exchanged phone numbers. Sparks must have grown between them as they exchanged texts and phone calls and dated shortly after before getting married a few months after dating. Their wedding was on 9th May 2005 in the US Virgin Islands, where they invited only 45 close friends and family members. It was a beautiful wedding, which unfortunately didn't lead to a beautiful marriage since it all came to an end just 4 months later in September, where Renee filed for an annulment and cited fraud as the reason. That statement caused many people to react by throwing shade at Kenny Chesney. Later on, Renee came to his rescue saying, and I quote, "Fraud is simply language and is not a reflection of Kenny's character." Number 8, Nikki Hilton and Todd Andrew Meister. Nikki was young and in love when these two got married, but now she agrees that the marriage should never have happened in the first place. They were in Vegas when they made that impulsive decision to get married. Their marriage only lasted 85 days. They got married in August 2004 and were granted an annulment in November 2004 by a Las Vegas judge. One of the couple's representatives has released a statement saying both parties had ended the marriage amicably and remained good friends. Nikki was just 21 years old at the time, and Todd was 33. They remained on good terms until they finally met other people and moved on. Number 7, Amelia Warner. Amelia probably has the least amount of regret compared to other celebrities on this list, only because her marriage to Colin Farrell may not have actually been legally binding. She was only 19 years old when she married Colin during a ceremony on Tahiti Beach. It was in 2002 that this unexpected marriage happened. It was not surprising that this marriage did not last long. They called the marriage off in just 4 months after their wedding. Amelia has always talked about it and demands that the wedding wasn't real despite some people not believing her. During an interview in 2011, she said, "We didn't actually get married. It's not actually true. I think we're being too polite to deny it. We had a ceremony on a beach in Tahiti that was by no means legal, and we knew it wasn't. It was just a thing we did on holiday. We booked them at the activities desk at the hotel." She said that despite the marriage or not marriage, it was still heartbreaking when the relationship ended. Number 6. Carmen, Elektra, and Dennis Rodman. We might not know who feels the most regret, but their wedding is remembered as one of the most strange and sudden circumstances in Hollywood gossip history. The two got married in Las Vegas on November 14, 1998, after what people described as an all-night bender. 9 days later, Dennis filed for an annulment and claimed that he was deeply intoxicated at the time of marriage and was not in the right state of mind to make that decision. For a short time, it seemed as though they had reconciled and tried to work things out. They were seen together in public in early 1999, but by March of that same year, they had filed for divorce, which resulted in a 6-month marriage. After the divorce, they moved on and met other people. Number 5. Jeremy Renner and Sonny Pacheco. You may not have known that the actor was married because they got married quietly just over a year ago. Less than a year into their marriage, his then wife filed for divorce and cited the reasoning as fraud. On top of that, she's also demanding physical custody of their daughter Eva, as well as spousal support, use of the Range Rover, and for Jeremy to pay for her moving expenses and her rent. The court documents have a lot to say, but the actor hasn't said a word since their split. Number 4. Elizabeth Moss. We all know that she feels sour about her marriage to Fred because she called it traumatic, awful, and horrible. The actress got married to Fred in October 2009, but ended their relationship just 8 months later in the summer of 2010. The two met when she was a guest at Saturday Night Live, where Fred was working at the time. The divorce was filed for irreconcilable differences, but later on, Fred went ahead to admit that he had been a terrible husband. In an interview in 2012, she spoke about him and said, "One of the greatest things I've heard someone say about him is that he's so great at doing impersonations, but the greatest impersonation he does is that of a normal person." To me, that sums it up. It wasn't the first time she actually spoke about her experience with him, but he does take responsibility for all he put her through. Number 3. Pamela Anderson and Rick Solomon. Pamela has surely had a handful of failed marriages. This particular marriage, however, has a happier ending. The two have been married a couple of times. They first married back in 2007, but it was annulled 1 year later, then got married again in 2014 and got divorced in 2015. They had a rocky relationship, but in recent years, he began to tell the media that he wanted to get married to her again, and they did. That's right, they exchanged vows for the third time in December 2020. The marriage wasn't very conventional, as it took place during a 1.5-hour break she had between her magic shows. It was a very quick and small ceremony. When asked why they got married again, sources close to them say that they are really in love with each other and have been close friends for the past 15 years despite their past 2 failed marriages. Number 2. Nicolas Cage and Lisa Marie Presley. Some people might argue that Lisa is the one who had more regret because she ended an engagement to someone else when she met Nicolas at a party. She was engaged to John Ozakia in 2000, but ended the engagement to be with the actor. Their relationship moves pretty fast, and she is engaged once again. The two were officially married on August 10, 2002, but Nicolas filed for divorce on November 25, 2002, just a few months after. When asked about the divorce, he said they should have never been married in the first place. Number 1. Cher and Greg Allman. Their marriage is one that went down history books, and although there were regrets at the time, Cher will always have a place in her heart for Greg. The two got married in 1975, but separated a week later. They got back together and tried to work on the relationship, but when they were on the verge of an official divorce, she found out she was pregnant with their son Elijah. Their marriage eventually did end, and Cher revealed that his heroin and alcohol addiction was too much for her to handle. She went further to admit that when she called him to say that their relationship was over, he actually couldn't understand what she was saying. She said, and I quote, "He was so high that he didn't understand me." Sadly, Greg passed away in 2017, but Cher tweeted out her condolences. So that's all for our top 10 celebrities who regretted their marriages immediately. Thank you for watching, guys, and while you're at it, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, as well as share and leave a comment down below on your thoughts about these failed marriages.